What's up, family? Conscious Thought 101. I don't know if you all heard, but it blew my mind how this story got spun in an assault against poor people. Campbell Soup executive Martin Bailey was recorded in a meeting by a Mr. Robert Garza. In the recording, the Campbell Soup executive, Martin Bailey, stated in a rant laden with curse words. That's why I ain't even gonna play the video. It will sound like bleep, 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 bleep. So he said about bioengineered food. First, he said, "Who buys Campbell's soup? This SH bleep bleep is for poor people. Those are mostly the only people that buy it." And he said, "I don't even buy the products hardly anymore. I don't want to eat genetically modified food made from a 3D printer." Okay, now they spun it as a campaign against poor people because Robert Garza filed a lawsuit about racial discrimination and retaliation on the job. So I'm wondering, why was it the lawsuit about the bioengineered meat in the soup? Where do they get bioengineered meat from? I thought it was illegal to do that. From my understanding, I thought fake meat, genetically altered meat, was illegal per the FDA. If I'm wrong, let me know, because as far as I thought, they tried to get it. This is a few years ago. They tried to put it on the market without it being labeled as bioengineered meat. And the FDA said no, they got to, because even Congress was fighting against that. Certain senators and Congress people from certain states, especially Montana, Utah, Wyoming, they weren't having it, as they should have fought for it. Second thing is what he said about, you know what, I gotta go back to the bioengineering meat. He said a 3D printer. Now I took that to heart. Not Sci-Fi Lab, a 3D printer. That's what he said. And I'm going to leave links in the article. In the comment section. A 3D printer. So if you're getting bioengineered meat in a can of Campbell soup from a 3D printer, is the printer made from seasoned cardboard? Or is it like a salt and pepper, MSG based engineered paper? And then is it printed out in like 1/4-inch thick sheets for the chicken soup and they dice it up real small? And we're not going to know because by the time it's sitting in the broth long enough, then you open it up, can't tell the difference. But honestly, I stopped buying Campbell's years upon years ago. But I do know that it's a real big staple in nursing home kitchens. I do know that for a fact. No, I've never been in a nursing home, but I just do know they buy a lot of the Campbell soup, not the upper brand, but the base red and white chicken noodle soup, condensed this, that, and the third, the original red and white brand. A lot of that go to the nursing homes. But for people that buy the other products, like the beef stew, chunky beef stew, chicken this, veggie that, bean this, beef that, 3D printer. He said he's an executive. He said it out of his own mouth. Bioengineered 3D printer meat. That needs to be investigated. Now I gotta get to the Indian part, the latter part of it. He stated, now these are his words, because I took notes on that. And let's go to the Indian. 3D printing. Oh, yeah. Effing Indians don't know a effing thing. Said that too. They couldn't think for themselves. No, they couldn't effing think for themselves. I'm going to stop right there. Okay. Now I got to broaden the spectrum on More Than Camel Soup with the Asians. Because we're told basically shut the F up complaining about history. These Asians are smart. They're genetically smart. They come here, do this, that, and third. From him working with them, that was his analysis. So not only are we culturally getting smoke blown up our behinds about a group of Asians that are supposed to be genetically smarter than everybody else because they come over here and do so well, versus a guy that worked with them that goes on a rant, and this ends his rant of what they documented in the news. They also said something about he admitted coming to work high off weed. What's his name? Martin Bally. But weed is not going to make you go on a rant like that and talk about people you work with. He worked with them. I haven't. Now, the meeting happened in September of 24, and Robert held on to it until November 24th, November 2024, when he was fired. And once they verified that that was the executive voice, because the story came out last week, once they verified it was his voice, they fired him also. At first, they put him on leave. So if anybody know anything about how this bioengineered meat from a 3D printer is processed, hit the comments. Conscious Thought 101. Peace.